So how did I do this in Blender? Hi, my name is Shane Covin, and let's go through the process. So I took an initial structure, which is a rock, and I cut out a part of that rock as a separate mesh so I can do all the stuff on it. So now I went into geometry nodes and distributed points on that selected mesh, and then I instanced spheres on these points, and then I animated these spheres through a noise texture. I distributed points on these spheres so I can create a volume, and then I can convert that volume into a mesh so I can get that liquid kind of effect. And then I duplicated the system and created less number of spheres and reduced the scale. So what the hell is this guy talking about? You know? So anyway, let me take you through the geometric node system. So you have the geometry output here. So now you take the output and connect it to the input of a distribute points on faces node. So then you distribute points on the faces of the geometry, and then you instance a sphere object on those points. So, and then at this point you gotta animate the instances by using a nose texture, and now it's animated, and then you can connect the input of the value of the noise texture to the group input. Now you can change the values through the modifier section. So now you can set mesh to points and set some points on the mesh, and now you can convert points into volume and the volume into a mesh, so it gives this liquid kind of effect on the mesh. That's why we need to go to create these globules. So then there's a subdivision surface, and then you can set a material. I have set a bubble material, which, I mean, that's just the name. Anyway, then you duplicate the entire instancing setup and you distribute points on faces once again, instance the same sphere object, and then you scale it down so it lies within the mesh, the initial mesh. Now you subdivide the surface. Now we don't have to create the volume system because we don't need the liquid effect, because this is going to be inside the initial mesh. Now if you see this image, there's the outside globule thing, weird thing, but the sphere that we duplicated lies within this, and we have set an emission shader to it, so it just gives this personality thing. In certain areas it just emits light. So and I have set the material to
these nuts.
anyway, so now you join both the geometry and it's pretty cool. So you can have the emission lights in certain areas. So if I remove the globule thing out, you can see only the emitting light particles are left, but both together creates the entire system. So then add a fluid simulation above it just for the extra detail, and it just makes it real cool. And then add materials, the best part. So I created the material through After Effects, the main material, just, you know, give the liquidish effect, and then there you go. Then you can put a proper lighting system and just do the camera animations to make it look real cool, and then you're pretty much done. Thank you guys, and subscribe if you want to see more of this.